Brought to you by Poderation, podcast for nerds. Ooh, natural 20. Today's episode is brought to you in partnership with The Wandering Tavern, a brand new RPG setting from Homie and the Dude. Ghibli-inspired and system-agnostic, The Wandering Tavern is a floating metropolis of the weird and wonderful, designed to slip seamlessly into your world or be used as a campaign setting in its own right. The tavern is fully mapped out across 15 giant battle maps with 23 unique locations and features 33 different NPCs and a full airship system across more than 200 pages of content. The tavern is available online at hatdbuilder.com now, and we've got a special discount for Poderation listeners, so use code POD at the checkout for 10% off your order.
Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him, any, and we are playing The End of the World. And here to play with me, please welcome Susan Spinator.
Hi, I'm Susan Spinator, she, her. I will be playing Susan Spinator, stuck in a Cthulhuan world that I do not want to be in.
Susan, what's your druthers of end of the world scenario? Like, what would you pick if you had to be in an apocalypse?
And I had to survive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess you don't have to survive. The choice is yours, but...
Okay. Ideally, I go out with the first wave. That's my ideal choice.
Gotcha.
Not have to live to see the end of the world and deal with the consequences thereof. But if I do survive and I find the willpower to keep going, I would be like the camp helper. Like, I have a lot of eclectic tasks. Like in this character sheet, you could see I always carry around like a sewing kit and some health supplies. So I'm just like the person who's like, oh, I know how to fix up clothes and I know how to cook things and I know basic triage and
Gotcha. So it doesn't matter what kind of disaster sweeps through. You're ready to go, right?
Oh, yeah. I do not want to live to see it. I do not want to be part of the world that's after. I have a very large family, so I will be sad.
Gotcha. And speaking of being very sad, please welcome Xavier Trudeau-Duchesne.
Whoa. Hi, I'm Xavier. He, him. I will be playing Xavier. He, him. And halfway through Susan's spiel, I realized, damn. If shit goes down, I'm fucked.
Right?
I got nothing to offer.
Yeah, same. Big same. Big same.
Oh, boy. Yeesh.
I'm like, I can sit at a computer, I guess. How helpful will that be in the apocalypse?
Well, at least my skeleton can be like environmental storytelling for the future. You know? I just need to make sure I have a good skeleton pose.
You can draw, though, and I feel like that's pretty good because much like prison, like if you're in an adversarial situation, you just be like, I can draw you porn. And then most people are like, oh yeah, we're keeping him alive.
You're not wrong. It's, as every artist, it's always been on the back of my mind. Like, the state the industry is in, there's always that fallback.
Yeah.
Not only can I draw porn, I could do furry porn.
That's right. The dream.
You'll be a hot commodity, Xavier.
I will trade all your bottle caps for you.
And sharing his persona with us, please welcome Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex. He, him. I will be playing Alex, also he, him. And it's funny you say that because I'm wearing the Snuggie from work.
Yeah, you are very fuzzy and furry.
Very furry right now. Oof. Uh-oh.
What would your flavor of apocalypse be, Alex? What kind of thing would you like to see?
Well, I mean, I've been on the Walking Dead kick, for a month. So zombies for sure. Like I got
zombies, yeah.
Right. But like for me, survival tactic, I really realized like kind of what Susan said. Not that I would give up, opposite, but more of like the fact that like I have a big family, so I knew that there would be death and sadness. I would go full like raider murderer mode. Like everybody is target. Nobody will survive if they meet me. Like, don't go into that part of the Badlands because there's that hairy dude out there who's wild and kills people.
That furry dude.
That furry dude, yeah. He's wearing a Snuggie, and under that Snuggie, he's got shotguns, knives, bombs.
He got all kinds of things.
Everything, all kinds of stuff in there, yeah. I heard he has a lot of cats, too.
Cool. I love it. Well, yeah. Hopefully none of us will ever have to live through. Though I think all of us have almost lived through a couple of world-ending scenarios, or at least world-altering scenarios. Would like those to stop, please.
Nah, the hits just keep on coming.
Well, speaking of hits, we have the rest of our holiday special to get to in this Cthulhu apocalypse. So, without any further ado, let's get back into the end of the world. So last we left you all, you had just escaped from Ian's apartment after fighting and running from a horrible, transformed monstrosity that maybe at one time was your friend Ian, but now has decided that a fishier form is more based, and the flesh of people is more delicious.
Dude, recipes.
Ripping pepperoni.
Rest in
Ian's
fish.
husk.
Rest in fish with a P, Ian.
Yeah.
Fish.
Yeah, rest in fish, Ian.
And cue 7-minute jam band.
Yeah.
But among the detritus and garbage in his apartment were a couple of clues as to kind of what was going on, or at least what he was interested in, which was this game, Strange Aeons. Kind of a weird indie game that's sort of taking off a little bit, and the three of you, using these clues, have decided to take a trip to Malibu to find Craft Love Games. This is the game studio that has created Strange Aeons. They might have answers as to what's going on. And what is going on, aside from your friend transforming and attacking you? Well, it seems like a lot. The last session that we had, you were checking online, and there seemed to be some weird things going on. Other people sort of having transformations. Lots of bizarre online babble about Strange Aeons and about what the game is doing to people, how it's changing them. And certainly in the city of Los Angeles, even though it is Black Friday, there seems to be a lot of activity, helicopters, aggressiveness. There's a palpable sense in the air, like an electricity, that something is going on. You can just feel the tension, it's just sort of gripping your heart as you make your way onto the Pacific Coast Highway and up the coast along the sea. As you wind up the PCH, the cheerful weather has given way to gray and ponderous skies. The ocean roils and froths on the horizon. There is some traffic present as you go through, as there always is in Los Angeles, and especially on the PCH. As you're driving by, you can see there's been some kind of crash that has been particularly brutal, and emergency services are trying to cover it up as best that they can with, sheets and things like that, but everything's kind of out in the open, and there's just something really odd about the whole scene. The hand that hangs below the gurney seems extra long and strangely disfigured. As you get past that and make your way driving through the hills of Malibu, you come into like a pretty rich neighborhood.
Since we're in the car and driving for a while, can I read my book to possibly heal some of this trauma and or stress?
Yes, absolutely. If any of you, thank you, Susan. That is a great idea. If any of you want to crush down some of the stress you have, physical or mental or social, into trauma, this card trip is a good time to do that.
Okay, I have to crush one. I have physical. I have like the first 2 rows are filled, so I need to get rid of at least one.
Yeah, and just a reminder, if you fill up all 3 rows, you're dead.
Done. I'm dead.
Yeah, you're done.
So I'm trying to remove this one. What am I doing to? What would I get if I remove it?
So the way that you can do this is you can subtract 1, 2, or 3 points of stress on your sheet, and those become a 1, 2, or 3 severity trauma. We're not concerning ourselves too much with the severity of trauma right now, just because this is a one shot. So you can crush 3 things into a 3 severity trauma if you want.
Listen, I can only fit so many mental traumas in this bad boy.
So if I
I'm
remove,
gonna keep the stress.
if I remove one, it becomes a 1 day trauma, right? 1
Yeah.
severity. Okay. I'll
And
remove
if you
the
move
1.
2, it's like a week, and if you move a 3, it becomes like a month, I think.
All right. I mean, what do I call it if I remove it?
Well,
friend.
it's you said it's physical, right?
Yeah.
You got clawed in the chest a bunch, so you could call it like claw wound or like chest wound or something like that relates to how you got
Torn
it. You know?
ligaments.
Yeah, something like that.
I call it chest wound. Is that good?
Chest wound works. Chest wound works just fine.
Yeah.
I got a chest
Okay.
wound, guys.
I took away 1 of mine, so now I just have 1 bar filled in mental, and I labeled it "Seen Some Things."
Seen some things. I like that.
Fantastic.
That's cool. That almost sounds like resilience, but
It's not, though.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like
That's what the corporals want you to think. That if you say,
Yeah.
oh, it builds character. No, don't tell me that.
no, it builds trauma.
It's a
that
trauma.
I just relive over and over.
Yeah.
It builds my therapy bill.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, cool. What about you, Xavier? This bad boy can fit so much trauma in it. Slap,
No,
slap.
he can't. He can't. He's got 4 mental up in there. I'm gonna keep my. I'm like I have 1 tick of the 2nd severity of stress. I'm gonna stay there.
Okay, cool. You pull up into Malibu, and you pass a sign that says Point Doom. The address that you have takes you to a pretty rich area, though much of Malibu is. This neighborhood is very affluent. It leads you to a gated home, like an actual mansion built into the canyon that overlooks the ocean.
I've played this game. It's called Resident Evil.
Yeah. It leads to a laboratory.
They're not about zombies, Alex.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Well, what happens? I mean, first of all, Fish Ian, I consider that a zombie because he's a mindless thrall who's just making fish noises and stuff. But you're right. This is Cthulhu. This is Cthulhu time.
You pull up in Alex's lime green Kia Soul in front of this mansion.
bright green.
Yeah.
2023.
This is a place, the studio, right? Craft Love Studios. This is the address.
That's what Ian's notes said.
I guess it is an indie studio, so it's probably his parents' place. Alex, get us in there.
Yeah, Alex, talk
You
us
got
in
it.
there.
You got it.
Why don't all 3 of you roll me a logic roll? No stress, but we will do this based on how many successes you get.
I'm a puzzle solver. Can I use that as a +1 die? Or is this some other logic that you're... Because I don't know what you're aiming for.
Yeah, I feel like this is more like perception. So
Okay.
unless you got a really good argument for puzzle solving...
I know. No.
Okay.
I defer to you, my game master.
Yeah, this is like awareness, looking around, kind of logic.
1 success because I got a 3 and my logic is a 4.
Oh, it's a failure.
I
feel like-
failure.
In Cthulhu, you can tell me, Susan, because all of you can tell me actually, because you're more Cthulhu experts than me. in any Cthulhu system or game, I feel like logic is like, you shouldn't even worry about that stat because he makes you crazy anyways. There's not much you can do, right?
It's not logic.
Especially if it's the other old gods too, like the other elder beings that just like, oh, you see him, you're insane. Like,
Well, there's a lot of investigation going on, so you need to like use logic for investigating. But that is a double-edged sword because the more you understand, the more mad you go.
that's the one. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, the stupider you are, kind of like the less cosmic horror you can comprehend. So you're just kind of like, I don't know, this is weird, whatever.
Just thinking about Raz.
All right, well, with that success, Alex, you notice that there are people around here, like on the perimeter of this house. There's not a lot, but there are a few just sort of like walking around.
When you mean people, do they look like normal people? Are they taller than normal people? Do they have regular people heads? What are we talking about here?
The thyroid situation.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I would say from your previous experience, you can tell that they sort of have that Innsmouth look.
Oh no, I don't know what that means.
They look like they kind of have that thyroid problem that they're going around.
God. How far? They're pretty far away, right? They're just walking around the house.
Yeah, they're just like walking around on the outside of the house, like walking the perimeter kind of stuff. And, you know, the house is set back, gated, so they're probably not even paying attention to you.
Okay.
But you notice them.
Okay. I tell my friends, I say, whoa, guys, hold on. I see there's people walking around the house, and I don't want to be judgy, but they look like weirdos. We gotta be careful. Because if they're anything like that guy from the cafe, the weirdos can take a beating. And I have the sword with me. I wasn't very effective with this thing, so I don't know what we can do in a real fight against real people. Because this is real life and not a game.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to fight.
Yeah.
What do we even need answers for? None of this makes sense. I just came here for a quick Thanksgiving vacation, and now everything's gone to shit.
Yeah.
I'm a little panicky, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, we gotta do this. I mean, he's gone. He's not here anymore.
We gotta do this for Ian.
You gotta do it for Ian. I mean, it hasn't really hit me yet, and I know it will. But he's not here. He's a fish man, like literal. And then I gotta realize I gotta keep my voice down. He's a fucking fish.
I guess that means he's not dead.
I don't think that's him. I think maybe that's something that was born from him, but not him.
Oh God, I don't even know how any of this works.
I squint. I try to see inside the house. You see some of them inside there?
I see them outside, and they're gonna walk around pretty soon. Just give them a minute, and then I'm sure we wait like 5-6 minutes, and we see them walk around again.
Yeah, you do. No roll necessary. Like now that Alex is pointing it out, you can see just like people just sort of like walking around. Yeah.
I misunderstood. Okay, so maybe if we can make our way inside, we'd be behind the gate.
Yeah.
Would be safe-ish.
I mean, I don't know how safe we'll be with these weirdos walking around, but
okay. Well, I can give you a quick boost, like just with my hands, and like boost you over the fence. I got that strength.
I mean, it'd be nice if all of us went over the fence. But yeah, I could go first.
Well, how big are the bar, or how far apart are the bars on the gate?
Ooh.
I mean, they're meant to keep people out, right?
Yeah, but I'm flexible, guys.
That's true. That's true.
This turns
Let's
into
all use our positives.
a Marvel RPG. I'm rubber.
The gate here that you see in front of you is slatted and is more meant to keep vehicles out.
Oh.
You could probably slip through the bars if you wanted of this thing. It might take a little effort, but you could also like do exactly what you're saying and like go over the walls that are connected to the gate.
Well, I am horizontally challenged, so I don't know if I want to try and squeeze through these gates.
I am injury prone, so I think I'm gonna try to go through the slats. Less likely to hurt myself.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fair.
If you fit, do it for sure. I look at the slats and I look at my stomach. I know I don't fit.
It's you on the other side, Susan.
Okay.
Alex.
Okay.
Let's come over here. The wall seems lower
Be
here.
gentle as I climb it, like I grab the fence and then I wait for you to get the little boost position.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's do this. Let's do this first. Susan, let's do a roll for you. We'll just say 1 negative die, as there, you could get snagged, could get stuck, something like that.
And then I got my flexible.
Sure. Yep. Sounds good.
2 successes. And my stress wasn't canceled out.
Okay, so you've got a stress, right?
Yeah.
A physical stress? Okay. Gotcha. So 1 physical stress. Okay, so it like you suck in and you like make through, but it's kind of a tight squeeze even for someone flexible like you.
And I have like old injuries, again, injury prone, that I probably like agitate.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Xavier and Alex, I think it's going to be, well, I'm going to need a roll from both of you. I'm going to need a vitality roll for Xavier.
Hell yeah.
We'll say again, like, because this is, you're hauling a person, like,
Yeah.
it is 1 negative die. And then Alex, we're going to need a dexterity roll for you. We'll give also, I'm going to give you 2 because you have a chest wound.
Oh yeah.
No, it's fair. I'm gonna add myself a positive dice for dad strength, but also a negative die for bad knee.
Okay, gotcha.
I was reading over the rules, and I think for Alex, one of the positive things you could add is assistance, and Xavier's literally assisting him.
That's true. Yeah.
I get a second dice. Woohoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Susan.
2v2. Thank you, Susan. You are the
I was like,
savior.
you over
Same.
3-4. I was like, I need more positive dice. I'm losing too many rolls.
Yeah, we've been losing a lot in this system. I realize this system is unforgiving, but it's like, well, I'm not killing you.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh boy.
2 success, 2 stress.
Okay, gotcha. That's 2 physical stress, but you are able to launch Alex over the wall. Alex, how do you land?
1 success, 2 stress.
Okay, yeah, so you hit that ankle pretty hard.
I'm not the one with the
You're-
weak ankles. This guy got the weak ankle. I'm
yeah,
just,
well, it's at the knee, right? You got that dad strength. You're like, huh, but then
Yeah.
that old knee sort of
I'll
like,
feel it later.
yeah.
I have abysmal constitution, so maybe like I get the wind knocked out of me as I
That's that chest.
Get
It's that
launched.
chest injury.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I get
it's
launched
like,
over, and as I get launched over, I land and I kind of do a little stumble and poof, like I land on my feet, but then I do take a couple steps after the boost over, and just poof, fall face first into some mud or something.
Oh, right in the chest hole.
Yeah. Ah. I should have put a band-aid on this or something.
I have some in my backpack.
Yeah.
Alex and Susan, you are at least in the yard, as it were. Probably time this so that you're not like running into people.
Yeah.
Xavier, do you want to try and get over in some way?
Yeah, I'll
Or are
pull
you
myself
chilling?
up.
Or is Xavier good
Well,
out here?
Before he heads
There-
over, I want to look at like towards the front entrance of the gate. You know, like how is it shut? You know, is there a house or is it just a gate, a manual gate?
Oh, the gate. It looks like a gate that's like you know what you would have in front of a driveway or something. So the way that it shuts is like I mean, you can see like a electronic numeric keypad kind of thing.
Oh.
There's probably a way to open it manually if you wanted to, but
I'm not an electrician. I'm not about to die by.
Don't worry about me. I got
electrocution.
this.
Okay.
Just gonna pull myself up. I'm not gonna apply bad knee this time because my knees aren't doing much.
okay, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
maybe on the way down.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll give you that. Give me another vitality, just one negative die.
Okay, so it's another stress, but I'm at my second bar, so it's no stress
Ooh.
and a success. But
Oh
two
yeah.
successes.
I have two physical things, so I don't get any stress from that.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you remember your points of resistance. Yeah.
Two's where it's at. Two's the place
Excellent.
to be.
That's the sweet spot.
Until you take like 10 or something, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, Xavier, you make it over. Ooh, that knee, but hey, you've done worse. You've been through worse. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you kind of want to go? I mean, you're looking at the front of the house. You're looking at a driveway that leads to, like big rich mansion front door, double door kind of thing, you know.
And we probably need like cameras or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about cameras.
Because if cameras, well, I'll just like go front door and like ring the bell. Because we're already on camera.
yeah.
And can I just look at the note from Ian one more time? I have below the sea, scars are the key.
Yeah, you want me to read
Address.
off those clues to you one more time?
Yeah.
The clues are Point Doom, Malibu, Below the Sea, The Stars Are Right, Dreams Are the Key, Craft Love Might Have Answers, Get the Others to Go With Me, Need Their Help.
And in character, I would look at it again just to be like, is there like something here? But no. And then just follow Xavier to the front door.
Well, he said
Ding
front door
dong.
if there are cameras, but are there cameras? We don't know, right?
Give me some logic rolls. No stress. Just yeah.
Hey, a success.
I also
Nope.
succeed.
I fail. I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah, you're looking at the note. You're looking at the note. It doesn't look like there's any cameras. If there are, they're real well hidden.
Okay,
No
maybe not front
Yeah,
door.
we went to the front door. The way I envision is like there's some brush area that we were probably hiding behind, or some sort of like small stone wall or something that was part of the original layout of the house or the original grounds, and then they built the newer gate afterwards.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, let's go with that. That's
So-
cool.
We're hiding behind this wall, short brick wall covered in moss, and I'm kind of peeking over. And after we check for cameras, we don't see any. I look for like a side door, like is there like a kitchen entrance or like a garage side door entrance? I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know what the proper term for it is.
Oh, yeah. I like both of those. Let's say, I mean, that seems totally reasonable to me. There is, you can see if craning your neck, looks like an entrance to what might be a kitchen or some kind of dining area. And on the other side, you can see a garage that is open, that has a car inside of it, car or two, a bunch of garagey stuff, and a door.
Okay, we got a kitchen door entrance. Looks like the patrol just barely touches it, so we got plenty of time. And then the garage on the opposite side, it's open. There's a door that's open, so we could definitely go through there.
I'd be able to pick up a few things in the garage too.
Oh yeah, we'll get some heavy duty stuff, like maybe like a wrench
Tire
or
iron
something. Yeah,
yeah.
some
mean-
really.
Kitchen, chef knife. But
Oh man, yeah, true.
Oh. Well, we'll loot the place on our time. Like, we got time.
Which side has the patrols go deeper? Because I just made an assumption I probably should have made, but
They're sort of like encircling it around one on each side, so they sort of like meet at the ends of the house, you know, and then coming around, so that kind of thing.
so it doesn't matter whichever one we choose. We have to time it the same way. Doesn't matter.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I say the kitchen because we have cover if we want to like get something. You know, as soon as we get to the kitchen, we're good. But to the garage, I'm assuming that if the thing is open, they can walk by it and totally spot us. So we have to hide while inside there too. I don't know. There's more walls with the kitchen entrance covering us, and I like that. I want to be hidden, covered.
You know what? I'm going with hardcore survivalist Alex Herrera with this. I'm gonna follow your lead, man. I'm gonna follow your instinct.
Yeah, that was in character. That's me like telling her like, yeah, we need more walls to hide us. Okay, yeah, we'll time it and we'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait for them to do the thing where they both pass and whoop, whoop, whoop.
I like it. I would like you all to roll a dexterity.
Hell yeah. Dexterity 1. Bad knee. Let's go.
Is it dexterity 1 or just?
Nah, I mean my dex score is 1.
Oh no.
For the bit. Let's do it for
What's the
bit.
rating? Is there a difficulty on this one? Yeah.
No, I
Oh,
just
okay.
wanna see how many successes or failures happen.
What happens if
Okay.
it matches the number?
If it matches it, it is a success.
Okay, then success.
Yeah.
You got 3.
So
Failure.
Failure. One failure.
success.
Success. Yeah, you make it around to the side of the house, timing it as these two sort of like people patrolling around the house go their separate ways. And it's like making it from bush to bush and trying to keep you know, like it's a video game almost. Like this is your own video game out of their cone of vision, you know, staying low and going slow and then going quickly. And you do make it into this door, reaching up, finding it open and going inside. Inside is a kitchen, but it does have like a bunch of like unwashed dishes everywhere and flies.
It is a game studio.
Flies buzz among the plates of like foul smelling dishes and kind of unknown leftovers. For like a rich kind of house, it kind of looks like this kitchen's been dumped on a little bit.
Yeah, grab the knives.
Yeah, look for a knife.
Yeah, you find a knife. There's
maybe a snack.
You open up the refrigerator and you're greeted with a powerful odor and a lot of things that could be edible. Who knows what kind of meat these leftovers are from. But there's definitely knives of various.
You know what? You just said meat. I look for a meat tenderizer because the knives didn't have much effect on the creatures in their necks area. I'm gonna go blunt. I'm gonna go like
blunt
pastry
damage.
roller or something.
You said meat tenderizer, but I love the idea of a rolling pin. I think that's really funny, actually.
A cast iron skillet, or
cast iron. There we go. That's it.
I want to go for cast iron too. Anything cast iron, like a griddle.
Did you not
pan.
bring the katana?
The katana?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I thought you.
I
thought you said you in the car that you said you didn't have it.
No, I did have it. I did have it. I said I did have it. So yeah, I still like the idea of me. Like I see Xavier grabbing like a cast iron skillet, and then Susan grabbing knives. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I go to grab like a griddle pan or something, and as I'm grabbing it, the katana hits like the cabinets, like. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's
put it back. Yeah, put it back. Yeah, I don't need it.
Susan, you get a small bladed melee. Add that to your inventory. This adds 1 positive die and a +2 to damage.
That's like mine, except I think I get 2 positive dice.
Xavier, you get a small improvised melee weapon. No added die for the roll, but a +1 to damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you grab these weapons and you can tell kind of right away in this house, it's very modern and cold. Like aside from like the mess here, there really isn't much. There is a distinct like brine odor, and perhaps that comes from the sea, because you can like there are a lot of glass windows in this house, and it does offer a view of the ocean as well as a large rock formation jutting out into the ocean, which you can which Alex, you would know. This is that is Point Doom.
Oh, look at that! Still stinks in here. Oh, look, that's Point Doom right outside.
Is this really how it's pronounced? D-U-M-E? Is this really Doom? That's ominous.
Yeah, I never really thought about it until today, obviously. But did the note say we have to go out there? Because I can't swim, and those pretty choppy waters over there.
It had this address.
I cross my fingers and make a face like, ugh. Like.
And the waters look a little rough, so I'm not sure if I want to go out there.
No. And then I realize we're talking kind of average volume, and I kind of lower my hand, like I make the lower motion. Like, let's try and keep it down. I forgot. We're still in this crazy people house.
Yeah, there might be other husks, empty dev husks lying around. Let's be careful, but I don't know. I just want to know how that gang got made. That's a really interesting game. You know?
I don't think you should be looking at the screen or anything related to that game anymore. I mean, you were talking.
I just want to look at the code.
You were talking some crazy stuff in the car, man. Like, what did he said? Like obviously the words of the game, but like blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what it was.
Oh, that just meant like in his house at Relay, dead Cthulhu awaits dreaming. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah. I look at Susan. Nothing to worry about.
If I was running a game right now, this would be, I would say he's probably infected. Sorry, Xavier.
No, that's fine. No
I
offense.
shake my head. What do you mean infected? Like his brain's already touched by this stuff already, or I don't know how this works. And then I look at the camera. I don't know how this works in game and out of game.
Does it take to camera? An office style take to camera.
I don't know how this works.
But this is real life, so I think we need to be here. I think this is the dreams are the key, right? And this is where
yes.
Ian directed us here, and I think he would have had before the end our best interests at heart and not leading us to some, well, ironic that it's Point Doom, but he wouldn't lead us to doom.
That's true. That's right. There's no way he would have scribbled that down while, going crazy. Those are well measured and thought out Ian.
So
well
well measured
that's
that
not
he
what I was saying.
All right.
I think maybe there was some glimmer of Ian in there who would want to help us.
Yeah, also so well measured that he wrote them all over the place, everywhere in his apartment.
Yeah, my logic's really falling apart right now, but we're already here, so.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go find the server room.
No, we're not splitting up. And then I follow him.
Quick aside to Alex, just like, we should keep an eye on Xavier.
Yeah, I'm only assuming how this works, but if he read too much stuff, or maybe he watched too much stuff, he went past that line of no return. We gotta tie him up or something. Probably by the end of by us leaving this place, we're probably gonna have him tied up and carry him with us to get out of here. I'm just taking a guess here.
Yeah, good thing he's lithe, so between the two of us, we could carry him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could carry him.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you coming?
Stop.
You all move further into the house, and as you do so, you come into an area, like a wide open area that may have been a living room or an entertaining room or something like that, but has definitely been taken on as a small studio setup here. So lots of tables, lots of computers, little laptops, stuff like that. Very very Silicon Valley, the show, you know what I mean?
Love that show.
Yeah. And on it sits assets and process and code for some kind of game, presumably Strange Aeons. There is also the a thrumming sound that you can hear. Is it the crashing of the ocean? I'm not sure, but there is a very faintly, and of course a fishy smell.
Any closets in this room?
No closets, but there is a hallway that looks like it leads to another room, past all of these servers and laptops and displays.
Are there any windows where we could see outside, or?
Oh, tons. It's almost all window.
Okay.
How's the city looking now?
You can't see much of the city from where you are because it's mostly just residential stuff.
Also the fog, just to say. I just want to throw that. I forgot that the fog was getting worse.
Yeah, it looks very stormy out. There's a gorgeous view of the ocean, but is kind of marred by the
because that means beach in Spanish.
by the very gloomy weather and the choppy ocean that's coming.
So I am in my everyday life. I find a fascination with bodies of water, and I find myself zoning out looking at them normally. I figure in this extreme situation and the dreams and everything that's going on, I think there's almost a moment that's a beat or two too long where I am looking out the window at the ocean, at the roiling water. I love watching storms too, but then it's just that moment too long. If you catch Susan in game looking, you're like, maybe she's even kind of in a trance a
Oh.
little bit.
I love that. Roll some. I want you to roll.
Oh
roll
no,
for
you
me.
infected yourself.
I want you to roll for me.
I mean, that's normal. Like, John and I
Yeah.
get cabins, like, on water, and I'm just there for hours just looking out on the water.
Roll me a willpower. I want you to add a negative die for dark words, and I want you to add a negative die for seen some things. And you know what? I want you to add a negative die for burnt out too.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about.
Makes sense.
This is the fucking 3 negative dice.
All of that makes sense, but I'm also adaptable, so I don't know.
Oh.
I'll give it to you. Sure, that
Okay.
sounds fine.
I'm okay with the negative in this one because
Just
it
more
makes sense
dice.
to me.
Just roll a big old
Yeah,
handful.
bigger dice pools are more fun. Period. So
Oh, shit. No successes. Canceled out 2 stress, 1 stress.
wow.
and
Okay.
because it's my mental, I have 1 resistance, so no stress.
Nothing. All right.
So just
Yeah, but it is a failure. So you do find yourself like, I think the sound goes out and you hear like the waves, and Susan, you're just kind of like ensorcelled by the ocean for a little bit. And even though you can only see the top of it, like, what does that ocean hold underneath it? It's so much of the world, and there's so much we don't know about it. Do, 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 do. And you just hear that sort of like faint drumming going on, and it sort of like pulls your attention down the hall, and you can sort of like feel it coming from there, and you can sort of feel the ocean in your soul.
Probably without thought because of the failure at first. A step and then another step towards the sound, just while looking out the window without even realizing it, and then come to. I think I could. That sound. You guys could hear that, right?
And you're there.
Oh, I'm there.
And you're there.
Oh, but I do say that and then
You
realize.
say that, and nobody is there but you.
Yeah,
Nice.
I look around, and then without even realizing it again, I lift my hand to open the door.
Creek, you open up and come into an office. Yeah, there's definitely like a faint. It's now that you're here, it sounds almost like drumming, like boom, 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 boom. In this office, there are shelves of books everywhere, lots of writing, models of hideous creatures, and crude drawings depicting humanoids that are more beast than person in violent and unsettling bacchanals.
Elden Ring. Okay.
Nice concept
Yeah,
art.
yeah, it's all Elden Ring concept art all the way down. On this desk, there are what you would find on a desk, as well as a spherical astrolabe, which is sort of like a star charting instrument. Usually they're sort of like hemispherical. This one is fully spherical.
And then I'll say to myself, the stars are right, and then start making my way towards the astrolabe.
Let's cut over to Xavier and Alex. What are the two of you doing?
All right, I sit down to one of the laptops with like just scrolling code. I'm like, all right, Alex, I got this. I know Unreal 5.
I'm watching him like very carefully because, I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. And I go to tell Susan and like try under my breath. I try to say, "Hey, at least we're both watching." And I turn and she's gone. And I'm like looking around. What the hell? And I tap his shoulder. Like, Xavier, did you see where Susan went?
No. Well, she was right there. Can't have gone too far.
And I don't move from my spot, but I peek down the door that's open. I assume to look down the hallway, and I can't. It's dark. I can't see her. So I'm like, I look back to Xavier as he's like still on the laptop, and I say out loud, like, I don't like leaving you by yourself here.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry.
Oh, you physically aren't going anywhere, but your brain's probably going somewhere.
It's just a game, man.
It's not just a game, and
It's a great game.
I catch myself. It's not just a game. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Do you not understand? Ian got turned into a fish. There's people out there with eyes coming out of their head, like the thyroid disease or something. Like, there's people.
No. Right. Let's be careful. This is not a.
It's
This is not a
because
normal
of the
situation.
game. It's because of this
If
game.
you die in real life, you die in the game.
Oh my god. I just shake my head and I'm just like, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't do anything crazy.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna worry about it because you're too deep. You're over here talking about looking through whatever code and stuff, and I just cut myself off, and I'm just like, no. He's fine. He's just let him do his thing, and I quietly leave the room.
Xavier, what non-crazy thing are you doing?
I don't know. Like, I said all this thing to look cool, but I don't really know Unreal 5. I don't know
okay.
I can't code. I barely know anything. I'm an animator by trade. So I'm kind of like, oh, I want to see how the sausage is made. Let's see how.
I mean,
If then.
yeah. I mean, don't know Unreal? Hey, no problem. You can probably poke around and like find some assets though that you understand, like that you know.
Yeah.
You do just that, and like what you're able to find is a folder of like game assets and stuff of the stuff that you were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specific you want to see?
Not really. Like, I don't know if it matters. Like, I want to know, like, when were these created? Like, last modified. Like, I don't know if it's irrelevant information that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious. Is this going to turn up, like, a strange date? 200 years ago.
There's nothing quite like that. These are all fairly modified pretty recently because they're throwing out patches, and that's something you understand. They've been patching this quite a bit.
Okay, I'll look at the most recent stuff then that they did. Like, what's the latest, like, additions?
Yeah. So within that, there's one thing that kind of like doesn't make sense, and that is it had like for some reason in the metadata here there is longitude and latitude, and it's 47 degrees south latitude, 126 degrees west longitude, and that's just kind of like in there.
Can I Google that?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. You Google that, and it is a point in the South Pacific, in the ocean.
I'll check their Teams /Slack chat.
Still, but it's gonna be all in Eldritch. It's gonna be all the like the.
Yeah, there's
The weird font people use.
there's a lot of that. There's a lot of it's been shortened to Cthulhu Fhtagn. So there's a lot of like Cthulhu Fhtagn as some kind of like greeting or excited exclamation. There's a lot of talk of a place that you've already brought up, which is Rillier, the city where Cthulhu dreams, where Cthulhu sleeps. And these chats are like getting really excited about now is the time, like we're going to be able to be like them and throw aside humankind. We're going to liberate the old ones, and Cthulhu will lead them, and they will be among the stars once again, and we will revel with them.
Damn, these devs.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. Oh, and there's a ton of stuff like this game is like getting traction, like, you know, like we gotta keep pushing out these updates. We're getting more and more people.
What a surprise! The game company is a cult.
Well then, okay. I'm gonna go find Alex and Susan.
Cut to Susan. You're over at this astrolabe, and you're muttering to yourself. Give me a logic test, please. And let's see. Give me burnt out as your negative die.
There's a reason why I came to LA, and it wasn't this.
Wasn't to get more burnt out.
Success and stress, but no stress because I already have one resistance.
Yeah, you sort of like move things, and it's almost as if you are moving on your own. There's Your mind goes back to the twisting and turning labyrinthine city that you were in, and for some reason those movements and those strange angles seem to guide your hands as you draw this astrolabe into alignment, and suddenly it whirs and clicks, and you hear something on the far wall click, and one of the bookshelves just kind of like opens just a little bit.
And for a moment, I just lose my cool. Well, I just go, oh my god, that's so cool. And then, like I've always wanted that to happen in real life. And then I'm like, shh.
And nobody's there to see it. And then Alex and Xavier walk in.
They catch me like doing that thing that I just did on camera, like censoring myself.
What are you doing?
And then that moment of cool gone again for just a second as I like let out a big smile, and then I just found a hidden bookshelf or a hidden passage.
I see it and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but you walked off. You just disappeared.
I'm fine. I found a hidden passage.
That is pretty cool. I've always wanted to see one in real life. There we have it. Where does it lead?
Yeah, it is a little weird that I went off by myself, but also that dream I had last night helped me figure out this thing. And she points to the astrolabe.
Yeah. Dreams are the key.
Right?
Of course.
The stars are right.
The stars are right. What else? What else was there? Under the sea?
Below the sea.
Let's go below the sea.
Love the misplaced enthusiasm.
We've embraced insanity. Alex has to join us.
Yeah.
He's the pragmatic one.
Exactly. I mean, he's established it pretty clearly early on.
I mean, I will be real with you. If I found a secret hidden passage in a bookshelf, I am definitely going down there.
I mean,
I throw caution to the wind. I gotta
In someone
know.
else's house?
Yeah, I gotta know. It's
I
too
mean,
good.
9 out of 10 times it's a sex dungeon, but
That's true. Yeah. Just
Or
a
like the
just a
cocaine room.
just a boring old cocaine room / sex dungeon. You
Yeah.
know? that old hat.
but it was behind a secret passage.
Yeah.
Going over to it, you open it up and open it up wider, and from that is like going down there. It's sort of just like a simple passage that leads into like through the bowels of the house and then into a tunnel cut crudely from the stone of the canyon that leads down below the foundation. And from there you can hear like that drumming louder and louder. It takes you a while to go down these stairs again. Like it's all very crudely carved and it's very long and very steep until it opens up onto a cliff above the seaside. And the time that it's taken to travel and move through here, it is twilight now. Like the evening is well rolling in. There are stones that are carved here onto this point jutting out on the sea, but they seem to form some kind of unsettling geometry. You have a view of the ocean, and the storm seems to be like in full force. It is crashing and thundering and breaking out in the sea. There's something very weird that you notice immediately, and that is that it feels like you are outside, obviously, what with the weather and the ocean and the storm, but the sound here is bouncing around in a way that makes it feel like you are actually in a yawning cavern. It is a space that doesn't seem to make any logical sense. And the most prominent sound that is sort of like thrumming in this bizarre space are people hitting these drums. There are people with robes and strange tentacle masks that are chanting. Some of them are naked, some of them are smeared with crimson, and they bray and they twist, and they make a sound that should not come from a human throat. There is a ring of bonfires around with scaffolding on which there are some strangely mangled bodies. And in the center of all of this stands a great granite monolith, about 8 feet in height. On the top of rests a noxious carven statue that you have seen before, that maybe you have all seen before. Inside this circle between the bonfire and this pillar, these hybrids spawn, bray and bellow and writhe and worship in an insane way that just makes you sets your teeth on edge. And they're chanting in that gibberish that you've heard before. Finglui magla nafa kulu rilye waganagal fatak. And they are just kind of like almost not even noticing you. They are so entranced in what they are doing. Alex, you're the only one who hasn't seen this kind of thing, right?
Never in my life.
Roll me a DC will.
Even in LA?
One?
Never seen it?
DC. Roll me a DC 2 willpower. And let's see, what can we add for you? Dark words. You can add a negative dark words.
Oh, wow.
You'd never been drafted into it or attempted to be drafted into a cult before?
No, maybe MML probably a couple times.
With writhing half-humans?
Okay, so yep, I failed that one. And that's 3 stress. Actually, it's only 2 because I have 1 row of protection, but yeah, failure.
Take a trauma, and what do we call this? This is... Cults look like fun.
I see the appeal.
I see the appeal.
No, sir, I don't think I do.
So when we see this to the party, not very loudly, I'll say, this is a summoning ritual if I've ever seen one.
I think this might be a mocap session for their game.
No, are you crazy? Look at that shit. There's things that aren't even human down there.
So do we want to try to stop it, or...
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like. What does it mean? If it's summoning something, yeah, we should stop it. But like,
I mean, don't you want to shed your humanity and rejoin them in the stars?
okay,
No,
I have, at this
Xavier.
point,
I feel
yeah,
like we're halfway there. That'd be
Xavier?
counterproductive to stop it here.
Xavier, stop.
Xavier, look at me. And I
Yeah,
hold your
yeah.
face eye to eye.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Think of your kids.
All right. Right. No, what am I saying? I'm Canadian. God damn it. Fish monster.
What would Mode say to you right now?
I don't know. Should be down.
All of a sudden, it everything stops, and there's silence. And you see someone who's in one of these robes and one of these tentacle masks. When you notice that there's no sound and that you're all sort of like looking at each other, you look out and like everyone is now looking at you.
Oops.
Hi. I just wanted to know if you had any plans for DLC or
This one in a robe gestures to you and goes, fans of the game, welcome.
Yeah. Right.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great game. We've met a lot of fans today.
You are most welcome here. Join us. We are learning to shed ourselves. We are learning to become as the great old ones. Surely the game has led you here. Why not take the last step and join us?
I was a little more interested in like their career, you know, like if you guys are hiring.
I'm afraid all positions are full, but we will accept your resume and cover letter.
I didn't bring one. And then I just draw the sword and I'm just like,
That's awesome.
if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die with a katana in my hands,
Cool.
ripped apart by tentacles.
Today's episode is brought to you in partnership with The Wandering Tavern, a brand new RPG setting from Homie and the Dude. Ghibli-inspired and system-agnostic, The Wandering Tavern is a floating metropolis of the weird and wonderful, designed to slip seamlessly into your world or be used as a campaign setting in its own right. The tavern is fully mapped out across 15 giant battle maps with 23 unique locations and features 33 different NPCs and a full airship system across more than 200 pages of content. The tavern is available online at hatdbuilder.com now, and we've got a special discount for Poderation listeners, so use code POD at the checkout for 10% off your order.
You have initiated combat. We are going to go into structured time, so the PC's going first. You're going after this like guy who's like talking to you in a mask, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the one. Seems to be the one who's in charge.
You're rolling dexterity.
2 for the sword.
Yeah, you get 2 for the sword.
1 for hand-eye coordination, I hope.
Sure, let's go with that.
That's 4 for me.
I would like to give you 1 negative die for your chest wound.
Mm-hmm.
1 for dark words.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 for the one that you just got. Gee, this cult does look like fun.
Cool, sounds like fun. Okay, that's 7 dice.
Here we go.
So 1 success, 1 stress.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So 1
And
success.
I don't get the stress because I have 2 full bars.
So 1 success plus 3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Oh, pretty good. That's a pretty good opening gambit. Yeah. Describe.
That's all I got.
Yeah, describe to me slashing into this dude a little
So
bit.
after I say my cool one-liner and I dash at him, I hear Susan go, because she made that face when I attacked the guy in real life.
Yeah. Engage you.
And I run past what I assume are some of the bonfires, not all of them, because there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Silhouette casts on one of the walls, and I jump and slash at the same time. Try to look cool. I'm just trying to do as much force as I possibly can, because in real life I am not a fighter. So.
Gotcha. Hence the jump. Get some of that kinetic energy flowing through. Do as much collateral damage as you can. I gotcha. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you slash right into him. It cuts him deep and cuts off part of the tentacles of his mask. And I mean, you can see the slash you made like right through his face. There's blood coming out of his lips and mouth, and it is like a pretty big smile.
Oh god, just like the other dude.
Yeah. All right. Xavier, Susan, who wants to go next?
Just like in the moment, do I know, like from my knowledge of the assets, do I know how the ritual is being made?
Yes, that is a great question. Yeah. So the scene going on right now is there are a few of these people that are very interested in you and what is going on. The rest of them seem to be carrying on with their braying and their howling and their like stabbing into these bodies, and most importantly, chanting. This is very much the scene that you witnessed in this like post-credit game thing that you played, and they are continuing to chant these words despite the commotion that is going on. And as they do so, you can see flashes going off like out in the storm clouds that are happening out there, and it like illuminated only by these lightning flashes. There's some like, you can just barely make it out. There's some like great hideous form that sort of like stirs behind this like curtain of gray. Wings kind of stretching out, tentacles undulating, that kind of thing.
All right.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
I kind of went off. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
All right, Susan, we got to disrupt this ritual. If we're going to do it, let's do it now. As I'm going to run in, cast iron in one hand, I'm going to go for the chanters, and I'm going to sing at the top of my lungs to kind of like, counterspell. I'm gonna sing like the Sailor Moon theme song or something. It's really loud.
Fighting evil by moonlight.
And off tune, probably.
That is great. Roll me a dexterity. Let's call this sleep deprived and dark words.
Failure, just one stress.
Describe to me what you're doing with this cast iron skillet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to disrupt anyone who's chanting. So yeah, I'm just like going in, swinging wide, kind of like jumping over like one of the side of a bonfire to get in there, to get to someone, and just try to swing at the back of their heads with like since they're so focused on the ritual. But then kind of like just swing and a miss.
Yeah, well, I think you hit. You just like this. One of them turns to you as you go to swing for the back of your head, and you just like crack them right in the jaw, and it like makes a sickening crunch, and their jaw like dislocates slightly, making it like uneven and hanging off to one side, and they are gargled and disrupted. But they are still trying to like chant these words out,
Yeah.
They sound even more hideous now as you have mangled their face.
Oh no.
Yeah, and take one physical stress if you don't have any resistance. And then Susan, it is to you.
Xavier says we have to interrupt the ritual, and that was where my brain was going to. So I kind of want to I know that Xavier looked around, but I want to see beyond the chanting, is there any and the monolith, I guess, conduits, like physical conduits that I could disrupt that the ritual needs?
Let's have you roll a logic.
So I'm if they have to mutilate the bodies and that's part of it, can I knock down some of the scaffolding to prevent them from doing that? Or is there some way that I could take down the monolith or disrupt symbols on it with my knife, carve it?
Yeah,
So.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Let's have some dark words in there. I would also like gore, I think. Let's have seen some things.
That seems right. But one success.
One success. So, yeah, you kind of you see Xavier sort of he's going after people shouting these words. That seems like a great idea. Maybe there is this pillar in the center with this statue. Maybe if you can get up to that statue or something and get rid of that somehow, that might help to disrupt this, whatever they're doing, this ritual, this summoning.
So that'll be my goal. Somehow get that statue that seems to be the conduit for their chanting.
That sounds good. If you'd like, you can start moving in that direction.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
please.
Boom.
Avoiding as many people as possible.
Yeah.
That's not my strength, guys.
Boom. Well, yeah, you start running for this pillar, and one of these cultists just gets right up in your face. And they know exactly what you're doing. They're not about that.
Cthulhu the Thoggen.
I'm not with those guys. I'm not with those guys.
Cthulhu V'Dogen,
Here's my resume.
this person that you see before you, they step in front of you, and they're flesh on their face and on their hands. You see spines ripping out of their back. It starts to tear off, and their human visage is coming undone, and they pull the rest of their sloughing skin off, and they are another hideous fish creature, and they're gonna try and hit you. How's that sound?
I don't like it.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah, one hit gave me 2 rows of physical stress, FYI.
Dang.
That's where I got it from.
I'm a weak.
Prone to
injury
injury.
prone.
Oh my god.
Cool. So that is going to be 3 damage.
Okay, so 2 damage because I already have 1 row filled up.
Xavier, this thing, like its jaws come off. It just like takes it, cracks it back into place. You can see like fishy skin and stink started to come off from there, and it sort of like pulls its own claws out as they like sort of like pierce out through their fingers, and they're gonna slap at you, and that is gonna be a miss.
Nice.
I bring the cast iron skillet right in front of my face and can just like intercept those claws.
Yeah, cool. I
Nice.
love it. Alex, this guy in front of you pulls out like a ritual knife,
Oh, good.
and he's through his smiling and his blood, he's like, "Don't do this. Be free and wild with us, beyond good and evil, beyond laws and morals. Throw them aside and revel in the joy of their return." And he's gonna try and stab you.
Is this Yasher?
Saying a lot of words. Saying a lot of words I don't like.
Oh, this is what Yasher becomes probably.
It's the same knife. I recognize it.
Ooh.
That is gonna be 3 damage to ya.
Take 1 because I already have 2 full rows.
Cool. And
Oh, boy.
then
That
it's
You're in the
sucks.
3rd row.
Yeah, I've been in the 3rd row since the middle of last game.
Yeesh.
Quick,
Go.
Susan, get a healing potion out of your backpack.
Yeah.
Check my backpack. There's bandages in there.
Only thing that can help me out is a Red Bull.
Hey,
all right. It is to a PC. Who wants to go?
Anyone want to go first before I go? Because I'm about to cut this motherfucker in half.
Go at it.
yeah, I want to see this resolved.
Yeah, I'm gonna. After he cuts me, I assume he like stabs me like my clavicle or somewhere. Like it's a quick cut or a stab. I don't know, whichever one you think. Yeah, slice.
Yeah, just a slice
So
at
it's
you.
like,
Yeah.
and my shirt rips up top, right? And it's my good shirt. I'm like, oh my god, my only good shirts. And it's bleeding, and the rage from the wound, I use it to counterattack. And like I mentioned, I'm cutting him in half. I'm going for the waist. Something tells me this guy is not fat. He seems pretty lithe and skinny from what I imagine him. So that's 4 dice total for me.
For you, I'm gonna add a chest wound for your negative,
Okay.
and still dark words.
This motherfucker getting cut. So 2 stress and 2 successes,
Okay.
but that's 0 stress because I have 3. Or I have 2. I have 2 rows.
Oh, he's not looking good.
Good.
I'll just say that. Yeah, you bring this into his waist. So how does that resolve?
After the stab, I kind of like push him away with an elbow. It seems like he doesn't really care because he's psychotic, or in another world in his own mind, or he's trying to turn this world into another world, and easily just gets shoved. And he's like, I imagine mid pose about to start up another little monologue, and I just take the sword to the side, coming across, and I guess I don't cut all the way through because he's still alive, but I go pretty deep.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you cut all the way through? Let's fucking do it. You cut all the way through. You bisect this dude in the torso, and he just falls over. It's nasty. You hear a scream come out of him.
He's still alive though.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Nah,
at least he's
nah.
screaming like he's still alive.
Fuck this universe. Absolutely not. No.
All right. Do you want to do anything else with your turn?
After I cut him in half and he's still screaming and still alive, I'm like, nope, this is not. I don't like this.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh, Susan, resolve the statue.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to fight this guy.
Yeah.
All right, there's someone. I forgot.
I'm gonna run by him. But I think with my knowledge of Cthulhu and how I've been living and breathing it lately, and maybe even at this time, if this was Black Friday, I would have been super like living it. I think for a moment and having that moment back where I was entranced by the sea, I will say to this guy as I run by, and I will say, you're insignificant and you pale in comparison to any great old one. You are but dust in the eternal cosmic space. Now fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rules of engagement like there are in other D&D games, so I want to know what you want to do, and then we'll decide from there. Because it might be like juking past this dude, but but you might have thinking something more interesting. So let me hear what you want to do.
Meeting him on his level, almost like embracing the insanity, like getting into the Cthulhu headspace, and then just like, okay, I gotta stop this. So sidestepping around him, like he swiped at me, and then it like almost like that rebound as he's like getting back into position to swipe at me again. That's when I'm like, run around him, and then get to the Cthulhu idol at the top. Somehow get to the top of the monolith, I guess.
There it is. I think that's the interesting thing. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. So you're at this like 8-foot tall pillar of stone in this strange geometric carving. The statue up there. What you want to do?
You don't have any dynamite? You can't just blow it up?
Right? I have a water bottle.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll do
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Dynamite.
How wide is this monolith?
The monolith's pretty big. Like the pillar is pretty big. The statue, not so much. It's actually kind of minute, like sitting on top of this huge pillar.
So here's what I was thinking. This monolith, depending on how big it is, maybe I would try to pull like a Mulan and like wrap my backpack around it and then and that's how I would climb it.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so
you can't
cool.
be swift at... Oh, no, we can't sing. Nope. No, I'm trying to get fucking clean out here. No.
Burn. Cut from the show.
Yeah, I don't want to destroy our small empire here.
Right? We don't want to catch that eye.
Nah, not this early.
But
Okay.
Like Sailor Moon earlier.
Yeah. All cut.
but it is time to get down to business.
Yeah, it is time to get down to business.
Let's call this 2 negative die. But throw in a positive die for using your backpack.
Ooh, equipment. Yeah.
Yes.
I believe in you. Heart of the cards. Whoa! So 1 success.
Oh, and you are clumsy though, too. I forgot about
Injury
that.
prone.
Yeah,
How
you
dare
are
you. How dare
injury
you.
prone.
After you finish the roll, he's like, "Oh, by the way, you fucking you trip over your own shoelaces and shit."
No. I will honor the roll. It was 1 success and what? And how much? And how much stress?
1 stress, but I'm on the second row, so.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, with this, you shoot, and you're making your way 8 feet up into the air. Xavier, it is to you.
In the moment, swinging with that thing seemed like it was good, but I realized my shortcomings. I'm not a great fighter. I don't have good, like, hand-eye coordination.
You do have dad strength.
I do have dive strength. So when I'm trying to use my vitality instead of using my dexterity. How close to the bonfires am I? Are we? Me and my partner here.
My partner, my dance partner.
Yeah.
You're not that far away.
Basically, I want to grab that person thing
Mm-hmm.
and toss. I'm not gonna like judo them because that's dex. I'm just gonna lift them up and throw myself and it in a bonfire and try to hold it face down in the fire.
Let's
This is the end of the
go.
world. I gotta
What
put
a
myself on the line, you know?
Incredible. I love it.
This is all the dad
cool.
strength.
I
It's for my
love it.
kids in Canada.
Yeah, let's call that. Let me give you. I think it's 1 negative die. Just because you're trying to like move a person. I'm gonna give you 1 negative die because this thing is terrifying. But I'm gonna give you 1 positive die just because this is badass. So.
All right. Can I add my dad strength?
Absolutely, you can.
That's gonna be 1 success and 2 stresses. So just 1 physical stress. And I'm like trying to like hold them in that fire with my body weight and might.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that stress is going to be like heat. This is fire, basically,
Yes.
you know? Yeah, like physical stress, like you are burning now, but it is burning more. And it screeches and cries out this inhuman sort of like animal sound. Excellent. Well, it's gonna try and fight back. Nope. It is not able to successfully break your grasp here. It begins to burn and scream, and you can hear like sizzling on its face as this like fire and the coals of like the wood and stuff like that begin to burn it. And it screams and it flails a lot, but you are holding it down with dad's strength.
She is the one named Sailor Moon.
Awesome. Alex. So yeah, this guy you bisected in half, he sort of sickeningly turns himself around and coughing blood and sort of like you can see like fishy parts of him. Like it is a stench that comes out of him that smells like a wharf, you know?
I know what that smells like.
Yeah. And he begins to like crawl towards you surprisingly fast. And he still is talking about like, and when we liberate the old ones, they will teach us new ways to shout and kill and revel and enjoy themselves. And the earth will be aflame with a holocaust of ecstasy and freedom.
I turn the sword upside down and stab the head.
Well, he's gonna stab you first.
Oh, it's his turn. I thought it was my turn.
Yeah, no, you. This is them. This is the NPCs
Okay.
right now.
He should have some sort of negative dice for being
I
on
think
the floor.
I think so. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah.
It's gonna bite your toes.
In half.
He is able to.
Oh my
He
God.
does get you. He does get you like right in the foot though.
Oh my god.
For two damage.
Nothing. I don't think any.
He just sort of like stabs, and hits right in between your toes.
Oh.
And then Susan, one of these like braying, screaming hybrids, probably the one that you tried to like run around and pulled their face off, is gonna try and jump up onto the pillar with you, like jump up onto your back, basically.
Oh.
It does manage to jump up onto the pillar, but it does not onto you. It's just sort
Okay,
of
good.
like and like grips onto the stone with its like wet, slippery claws, and it's like right behind you, like biting at your heels, like with its big mandibles. And then it is 2 PCs.
I guess I just like try and force my foot away so that like, you know, I don't want the dagger still in my shoe unless he pulled it out, but whatever, whichever the case may be. I pull my foot back, and as I do, I angrily one-handed upside down katana stab him in the head.
Cool. Roll it. I'm gonna give you 1 positive die because he is prone.
It's prone to injury. Am I right?
Ha.
Weak constitution, I think, is also.
Yeah, because he's stinky now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Hand-eye coordination's already in here, Susan. But
Ah.
thank you. Thanks for
Always,
having my
it's
back.
always on.
Thanks for having my back because Ian, for some reason, is always talking about the negative stuff. I don't know.
Right?
I don't
This
know.
guy.
That's what I'm focused on. That's what I gotta pay attention to.
Hey, you know what, Ian? Go off, King. Go off. Do what you want.
Doing great.
Oh, that one almost fell off the table. So 4 success and then 3 stress.
Ooh. Okay.
Not great. So I take one physical stress.
Okay. Gotcha. So 1 physical stress as you plunge your katana straight into this guy's head. Please tell us what it looks like when you end his existence.
So he's like, you know, talking his little fucking speech of grandeur. As he stabs my shoe, I kick off the dagger with my other foot, and it goes clanging somewhere, and he looks up smiling like, and I just angrily, without even thinking, flip the katana upside down and stab him in the head, just and it goes through right between the eyes because he's looking up at me. It goes through the eyes and pull it out, and then the viscera kind of splatters everywhere, which is what gives me this stress here. And I'm one
Love
stress
it.
away from physically dying, I believe. I have one spot left, right?
Yep. If you fill up
Yeah.
9, we can do cling to life if you want. But yeah.
I was gonna say for flavor, like after I kill him, it's just the audio cuts off and it's just my heart beating, boom, 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 and I'm like breathing heavy, and then I realize like all the cut I got, the chest wound I have, I feel them now. I would like that to signify why I'm so close to that to
Yeah.
death. Like I feel it now, and I try not to show as I look around and I see Susan up on the scaffolding near the statue. Right, she's up there. Right,
I'm climbing the monolith.
the monolith, yeah, and there's this thing like gibbering behind her, right? And I look over and I see Xavier pushing all his body weight down. He's burning something, and he's in the fire. You're in the fire too, right? You're like
Yeah.
leaning on him.
No choice.
Oh my god! And it's like Raditz and Goku right there, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm physically stressed out now more than mentally. And I'm just like
Yeah.
breathing harder, and I look around to like try and distract myself with killing something else, getting onto the next target.
Dead friend trauma is about to get bumped up.
Yeah, it's gonna go up.
It's like that elf general at the Battle of Helm's Deep, where he's just like
Yeah.
looking around and like seeing all the carnage, and it's like,
All his men are getting slaughtered.
yeah. All right, great turn, by the way. Awesome. Who's next?
I mean, I'm more of the same. For
More of the
this
same.
guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's have you. Well, first of all, I want to do something where I want you to take a point of stress for every round that you're in this fire, unavoidable stress. So
Yeah.
not unable to resist.
Yeah.
And let's have you roll another vitality here to keep this thing in the flames.
Yeesh. Okay, that's 1 success and 2 stress. So 1 stress because I'm reducing, and now I've got 2 full bars.
Oh my god, are we all gonna die horrific deaths right now?
I mean, happy holidays.
Yep, it continues. You continue to burn here in this thing. It continues to burn with you, though, and it's like creating a really delicious fish smell almost.
Finally,
Like
a good
a-
fucking smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yo.
it's a good halibut, right? Like
Malibu's got some nice fish tacos. Some of those
Yeah.
restaurants along there.
some Chilean sea bass a little bit. Yeah.
Now you're speaking my language.
Excellent turn. You can still hear this like chanting going on. Susan, you are trying something different. What are you doing here at the top of this pillar?
I'm gonna hopefully get to the top of the pillar, and then I want to pick up this statue. What is it made of?
It's like an oily, kind of slick, black and green stone. It feels almost like soapstone when you hold it, but it is very dense. And I mean, you can pick it up in one hand, basically.
Oh, so it's
you
that
know.
small.
Yeah.
So once I get to the top of the pillar, this thing biting at my heels, but I do want to like stand up and lift it as high as I can, this little statue, and slam it towards the ground.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, cool. All right, let's have you roll a dex. I mean, I don't think it's difficult to slam a thing down. I think you are accident prone,
Yes.
Oh no.
and you do have some bad eyesight. So yeah, so let's call it dark words, bad eyesight, and accident prone.
So 1 success, one stress.
Tell me what it looks like when you smash this statue.
So narrowly my feet escaping the mouth of this creature climbing up the monolith behind me, I scramble to the top of the monolith where there's a fairly flat surface enough to hold this statue. So I'm standing precariously at the top. I pick it up and I kind of slip a little bit as I go to stand, which is my injury prone, but I'm able to right myself and find balance from my yoga, and I lift up high above my head, and right past that creature climbing up, I throw the statue down, and it zips past his head like he could almost feel the air as it flies next to him, and slams into the cavernous floor and breaks into a million pieces.
You're telling me. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You're telling me.
It smashes.
And then
with
reconstitutes?
Oh, God, no. It's this resounding crash almost in time with the thunder out at sea, but it rebounds into this area where the sounds don't make sense, and for a moment this crash overtakes the chanting, and everybody can hear this as it breaks, and it's millions of pieces spread across the ground.
You hear this cracks onto the ground. There is a flash of green light that blinds everyone in the area. This disrupts the rest of the people here. Xavier, even the thing that you are holding suddenly like quiets down and jerks in that direction as much as it can with your body weight on top of it. But the chanting turns to the chanting and joyous wailing turns to wails and cries of despair. There is a loud, deep, mournful cry that escapes out of the clouds as this lightning flashes to reveal this monstrous shape out there. What you can see of it as it moves behind the clouds, its face affixed on you, its tentacles writhing, and it begins to slip into the sea heavily. The creatures around you suddenly begin to turn on each other. They begin to attack themselves, pulling at the flesh of first their human disguises and then of their fishy parts. Arms and limbs and viscera begin to be torn across this cavern as they just go crazy, as they just go insane. Some of them fling themselves off of the cliffside, just right into the sea as the earth quakes at your feet. And as you look out, as the storm begins to boil and crash, you see an enormous rising wave. Just a tsunami of ocean water begins to slowly build up and swell in your direction.
Run!
Susan, jump down. I'll get you.
Yeah. I would slide down with my backpack around, slide down and run.
Roll it.
And hopefully.
Roll it.
I'm gonna assist to try to cushion the fall.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. So, give me a dex. One negative die for difficulty and one for
injury prone.
yes. And one positive die for Xavier is down at the bottom.
Thanks, Xavier. You're welcome. 2 stress, 1 success, but I have 2 resistance for stress, so just 1 success.
Boom.
There you go.
Xavier, you catch her. Xavier is very warm. He has a lot of his clothes have burned off.
Yeah. I'm trying a new thing.
It's cool, but let's get out of here.
Yeah. Got some red in the face, little first degree burns going on.
Oh yeah.
Probably 2nd degree on the hands.
Yeah.
A lot of degrees.
But yeah, you start going back in the direction you came. Alex, what are you doing?
Same thing. I see them run. I hear them say run. I chase.
Snap out of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
As I'm running, I can feel my blood pumping through the chest wound more. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. And up the stairs, running up the stairs, slowing your pace. Now you can still hear the rumble of the earth as as this quake begins to like shake or continues to shake and move, and you can hear this like roaring as ocean water begins to like move very quickly in large quantities. You make it up out of the house, out of breath.
Hold on.
Yes.
Sorry. Can I roll for going up the stairs after all this? My knees are gonna be fucking me up.
Yeah,
And
of course you can.
in real life, like for real.
Yeah.
You may have to leave me behind.
Give me a vitality roll. I want you to. You can add. I want you to add a negative die for bad knee. You could add one for dad strength if you would like.
I think I'm out of that strength, so I used it all up. Success, but one trauma, one stress, but I don't take it because I'm at my third bar.
Gotcha.
All right, I make it. Everybody.
You make it.
Yay.
He makes it. Yeah, that knee is gonna need
But
some
there's this
surgery.
one quick scene where I kind of like, you hear me fall in the stairs, like ow, and then I'm a few stairs behind you, I'm like quick, Xavier, I'm like, and I do the thing where when no one's looking, and I climb with my hands on the stairs. I help myself up.
Excellent.
It's not graceful, but it works.
Yeah.
You make it out. Susan, maybe you grab Xavier under the arm, sort of like help him up the rest of the way these narrow stairs. Blood is following Alex like a breadcrumb trail, and you bust out of the house. When you get outside, the like people that were patrolling around here, they are tearing at each other. They're going insane. And the rest of the neighborhood is also going insane. It's like people are like rushing out of their houses. They are screaming down the streets. Like cars are just like wailing by. Some of them crash into like telephone poles and stuff like that into each other. Like it is bedlam here. There's also like people that are like totally changed that are chasing after other people. There is an enormous tsunami that is coming from the coast, like coming towards Point Doom.
Car?
I mean, are we high enough that we're gonna? No. Okay.
We're on the coast.
No, Malibu's the coast.
Okay.
So yeah, you get in the car, boom, and
Out. Kia Soul.
yeah,
Fail us now.
let's go, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
There is higher ground up towards the canyon. Give me a logic, no stress.
Success.
You spot a sign that says Malibu Hindu Temple.
Oh, I know what that is in real life. Oh.
Yeah. And that is up towards higher ground.
Yep, I'm going. And that's where we'll find safety, because I see the sign and I immediately turn or whatever I need to do to get up the
Yep.
road.
Yep.
And I'd like to think that I'm driving and like I'm grabbing my side, like on my stomach, like
yeah, blood pouring out. You drive up, and you can see in the rearview mirror. In fact, like any one of you looking back, you can just see that like wall of water just like coming closer and closer and getting higher and higher. And actually, you can see some people from your vantage point like walking out to the beach. You drive to the temple, and in all of this stress and panic, there are people on the road that you have to swerve to miss.
oh no.
Yeah, there
Can I tell you something? That's
Yeah.
like one of my worst nightmares. Like I watched a lot of
Like-
Walking Dead, and I was playing Project Zomboid, and like, hitting zombies is different, but like just imagining that I have to drive around people at high speeds, like on the road, that's like one of my top 3 nightmare scenarios.
So
Yeah.
you would kill anyone to survive,
Yeah.
But I mean, like in real
willfully,
life, but I'm
but
talking about
not
in real life.
accidental.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm
Yeah,
like on
not-
the road driving or something, which I mean, I barely drive now, let's be realistic. But like, if I were doing that and somebody just walk in the middle, I would flip upside down because I'd be so scared to hit them.
You make it to the temple despite all of this. The temple is beautiful. It's a huge white building. It seems, with all of this like Hindu architecture, Hindu deities look down on you in indifference, and it seems kind of deserted. There is just some leftover Diwali decorations that barely hang to the outside of this of this architecture. Yeah, as you come to a stop, the PAs begin to screech on some like loud, glitching, screeching sound, and a really eerily slowed down version of All I Want for Christmas Is You begins to play over the PA for some reason. You watch as the tidal wave of tsunami just crashes into the shore, and even though on high ground it wipes out so much stuff, you see homes and buildings, cars on the PCH just get devoured by this water as it crashes around and fills in, breaking trees and smashing everything in its path. You see the scrambling of military vehicles somewhere, helicopters and stuff flying around, unable to do very much at all. And what do you do in these moments here at the temple at the top of this canyon?
I'm gonna hold Alex's and Susan's hands and start singing along with the distorted PA.
I just rubbed the back of Xavier's head with my free hand. Something's wrong with him. Something's definitely wrong
We're
with him.
gonna have to get him help.
Yeah. And like as I'm rubbing the back of his head, I pull off and I try to adjust. I try to sit down basically. I imagine that we're all sitting down watching this.
Sure.
And I try to adjust myself, and like the minute I do, you just see my shirt get like instantly more red in the center. Like
Yeah.
Oh, let me. And then I see that, and I let go of Xavier's hand, and I do carry bandages in my backpack, and I start to break it out to wrap it around you.
I just like nod. Like, thank you, Susan. That's nice.
I'm not sure if this will need stitches. I have sewing equipment.
Let's see how it does first.
Merry Christmas!
I don't think I'm gonna come visit again.
Our camera sort of takes a top-down view of our three vacationers here at the temple. Blood kind of like pouring out onto these white steps. Xavier singing eerily along to this strange song, and Susan doing her very best to wrap up her dying friend. And our camera pulls up wider and wider as we sort of dolly away from this location high in the canyons. And as we do, a circle of fish creatures begin to slowly encircle towards the entrance of this temple as water crashes around what remains of the west coast of Los Angeles. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Endless Equinox. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you use. It's easy, free, and helps others learn about the show. Follow us for info, updates, and extra clips on our socials. We're on pretty much everything at Respect the Crit, or come be a part of our amazing community in our Discord. Mabel McIntyre is played by Jamie Lee Bonez, who you can find at Jamie MF Bones. Alain Levesque is played by Xavier Trudeau Duchesne, who you can find at Xavier TD on Blue Sky. Melody Thompson is played by Karen Huseman, who you can find at Not So Shy Ronnie. Raz McClay is played by Zach Clark. Yasher Angle is played by me, your host, Ian Duncan, and you can find me at iDunks. Our Keeper of Arcane Lore is Susan Spinator, who you can find at Suze Laluz. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. The Call of Cthulhu 7th edition role-playing game is published by Chaosium Inc. And remember, whatever the system, miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and Cthulhu Fatagan. And you have survived the end of the world.
Did we though?
Did we? I'm bleeding. Xavier's mind is half there. Poor Susan and Xavier are stuck in Los Angeles now. They're stuck.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
This show is part of Poderation, the nerdy podcast network. From D&D and video games through to ancient history and books of all genres, we are a group of podcasts all about things you can nerd the heck out about. We are currently looking for new podcasts to join the network. So if you know someone who wants to take their nerdy podcast to the next level, send them to poderation.com to get in touch.